To use Dagger in our project, we need to add dependency in build Gradle file, open build Gradle file, and as the first thing we need to add as connectivity plugin like this, and then we add dependency of Dagger like this. You can check the link of GitHub for Dagger in the description of this video to find the latest version of Dagger. Now with manual dependency injection, we are creating own dependency by hand. And now I want to tell Dagger generate own dependency for us. So to do it, we can use some annotations. Example, let me show. Example, inject by this and provide component and module. Before we discussed about how to use this annotation, I want to you remember that we have a two kind of injection: constructor injection and field injection. So what is a constructor injection and what is a field injection? When we um, when we inject dependency in constructor of a class like this, we call it constructor injection. So how about field injection? Let me show you in maybe example. You have a two class. Maybe we call it class car, right, and class engine. So every car need a engine. So we create a variable engine in car class. So whenever you create a class, to make it work, you need to pass uh, an engine. So first thing we need to create engine. Then we create car. Sorry, I'm sorry. And then we pass engine to car like this, and we call it fuel injection. So when we use constructor injection and when we use fuel injection, we use Google recommend we use constructor injection as much as possible. Why? Because it will easy for us when we implement unit tests. But for some class like fragment and activity, we should use injection field injection. Why? Because we don't initial activity and the system do it for us, right? For fragment, we also shouldn't uh, use constructor injection because in some case we cannot create an instant of fragment by ourselves. Example, when you use navigation component, you cannot create an instant, right? So you cannot pass anything in each constructor. So for activity fragment and any other classes, you need to use field injection. So and we, as you know, view model factory is a dependency of home fragment. So to you we will use uh, inject annotation to tell Dagger that we want is generate dependency uh, for home fragment and pass it when in runtime we add inject and we check. Oh, I'm sorry. In here we need to pass view model rider dot factory. and environment and factory is an interface. So for an interface, if we want to tell Dagger create an instance for us and add it as a dependency, we need to use bind. So let me create a class and tell Dagger help us to generate this dependency. We call it view model module class and we as by object and by view model uh, factory and factory view model provider factory. Sorry, it sorry it's so fun. It means that uh, we whenever we need an instance of factory view model provider dot factory class interface. Actually, it is an interface. We tell Docker that let's provide an instance of view model factory. So for view model factory, we also need to add an insert annotation to tell Docker how it can generate or create an instance of view model factory. We add in there. But now we have a problem. So how can we tell Dagger basis this dependency for us, right? For manual dependency injection, we are creating a link head match and pass it in Vimeo factory constructors. So for Dagger, how can we do it? To do it, we need to add an additional file. We call it view model key. We add it, and actually it is a annotation, and we have a new key class view model import key class. Up key also is a annotation that's provided by Dagger. Dagger is a function and getter annotation setter annotation target. Sorry, I'm sorry. Annotation target function. Robotoid getter. Okay, one more thing we need to add kernel dot annotation dot detention and annotation and runtime. Okay, so by using class, we can tell Logger help us to generate Vimeo maps for Vimeo factory. So let me try to add tell Dagger about view model, home view model. We add right at the same time fun by home view model. Return view model, and we tell Dagger. You can see into map is an annotation that provided by Dagger, and it helps us to add this add home view model with a provider. Actually, we add home view model provider and a key into view model map of view model factory. And here is the way we add the key. We use the view model key that we just created, and we pass home view model class as a key. Okay, so actually in here you can return home view model, but we just return view model for make it for make the way the same for every home view model. So the next thing we need to do is add uh, to tell Dagger about how it can create an instance of home view model by adding inject annotation. We need to close the task and check is dependencies home repository, and we also need to add try to use constructor injection as much as we possible in that and home local service. Home local service in this project it doesn't have any dependency, but we for Docker can know how to create an instance of home local service. We need to add empathy constructor, and we need to add inject annotation. I think it is a problem of Docker because we just as a empathy constructor and it doesn't mean okay we can clone home local service and open home remote service, and we add inside in here and check this dependency is a home API. For for home API, you can see it is an interface. Maybe we can use bytes to create to create um, to tell how to create an instance, but we are demo for network. And maybe in real project we will use retrofit. So I think I will use provide to tell Docker how to create an instance of home API. Um, so when you use provide, you use provide when you want to um, tell Docker about the how you want it create an instance of third party class of third party, example retrofit or room or any library you use in your project. So now I create a new file. I call it uh, network module. And for provide we call fun provide uh, home API, and we return home API, return home API. And we also remember that we need to add provide annotation. So what does it mean? It means that whenever you need instance of home API, um, that with Dagger should return an instance of a home API implement class. In a real project, you can pass some some dependency. Example, retrofit, retrofit in here. Okay, it is for home APIs. Okay, let me check it again. Home API, home repository, home repository. For home view model, we have other dependency block repository. You also need to add inside block local service. We also need to create empathy constructor and add inside block remote service. Create inside. And for block API, we also add it into network module and provide. I'm sorry. Product API. Whenever we need an instance of block API, we will return instance of block API implement class and create as provide annotation. Okay. You can see the difference between provide and byte. Mm, view model. Yeah. In byte, mm, we pass the object or instance that we want Dagger return in is maybe as a parameter, but for provide we return instant or provide tell Dagger how to provide an instance of home API in body of function. Okay, so one more thing uh, that we need to add everything in a module. Add it in a module, and I also want to add model become a module. Okay, let me check again. Humidor. So as you can see, the first thing we add view model factory in Dagger to tell Dagger how to um, provide us a home view model, and we add inject annotation in constructor of home view model and own its dependency to tell Dagger how to generate a home view model and its and own dependency of home view model, and Dagger will generate code for us when we build the project. Maybe you can think about it like a tree, and so for a tree we need a root, right? So Dagger also need a root mm, to know where it should start. And for manual dependency injection, we have a class app container. Maybe we can call it is a root of a tree. And for Dagger, we also uh, us the same thing. Maybe I will create same thing and tell tell Dagger every module that we just created, and I create app component feature in the interface and add. And to make a component to become a Dagger component, we need to add component. And in here, I want to tell Dagger about two modules that I created, view model module and network module. I need to in here a network module class and a view module class. Okay. And I just want to have one instance of app component for whole project, for whole application. I just so I do it by as a scope signature and for view module. No, we don't need it. And now we need to add um, app component to application. So how can we do it? We specify app component. Let me see. Maybe we can combine lazy and Dagger. Dagger. No. Let me try to review that to tell Dagger generates all necessary code and to make sure that we didn't do anything wrong. Signature component. Comment. Oh yeah, Dagger generated it for us and we can create. And now we will use Dagger component open home fragment in the yeah. So whenever we open our application app, the system will create an instance of application, and then it also creates app component. And in app component, we also tell Dagger about network module, view module. For view module, it will generate home view model and own its dependency. But we don't tell Dagger about fragment. So to do it, we need to create a function in here, function in the fragment, home fragment, and we must call tell Dagger that it should help us to generate own dependency of this fragment by calling on a type and require activity application as my application set to app component and call function inject and this. Okay, so because vModel factory now will be injected by Docker, so we don't need to call it in here. We can remove it, and we also move it in on a type, and we also delete init vModel method, and we also do the same thing for block fragment. vModel provider we add inject and block vModel we add inject and check block repository we have inside it, and we need to register block view model in here, object fund in by product view model, product view model and view model and by add annotation by Need to map Vimro monkey and Vimro class. And one more thing, we need to inject block fragment. Sorry, I'm sorry. Product and put it in on a type. App component inside this, and we move this code in on a type and remove this function and it. Okay, we finished. Now we try to run application to make sure it work. Oh, we have some problem. Let me see. Provide interface, provide and provide. Where? Maybe in network module. Provide module class network module. Guice network module. Extend view model. Let me pause the video a little bit to check it. Okay, after checking it, I saw that because in Vimeo Factory we are using provider interface that we created. So I need to change to use provider of index Java like this. And one more thing that I need to add this annotation. Actually, I don't understand about this annotation, but it just that I searched on the internet and I found that. And if someone or you understand about the annotation, please share with me in the comment. So after change provider and add this annotation, it work. And I try to view work and run it, and you can see it work, right? Okay.